Tell us. Don't leave us in suspense.
I'm waiting. Oh man, this is starting out to be a good one.
I like your lighting too, John. What was that? You had some good lighting.
So I'm going to go with the intro again because we were not live the first time. So here we go with the intro.
You are listening to the Whiskey Kilo Podcast Live.
Do you guys ever put yourself in a situation where you wonder how you got there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Like how you got the friends that you got, how you ended up with them?
No, how we ended up in a podcast.
I think it was your idea.
What?
Was it your idea? Oh, it was my idea, I think, actually.
Well, but John's the only one that's actually had a podcast.
Well, yeah. And yet contribute nothing to this one other than being here.
Because I've had a podcast before, know how much work it is. So I'm along for the ride on this one, guys.
You and me both. You and me both. Actually, you have contributed. I take that back. I want to thank John for this lovely logo that we have behind our heads here. He was so gracious enough to take a time out of his busy schedule to make that for us.
You should hit the applause. You should hit the applause button.
Yeah,
you have one.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. So.
Come on, miss. Come on, man.
And we should.
There we go.
And then also, I'd like to thank Kent, KO4TWI, for the intro music. We appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
And what are you bringing to this?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was the brainchild behind this at best, but yeah. So anyway, it looks like we got a couple people watching at this point. I have no idea how to see them, but who it is.
I should probably
Somebody was telling us our audience was waiting at 7:00. So, and but hey, whatever, we'll make it happen.
So we should start every podcast with you two guys telling us, what did you buy this week for ham radio?
Getting a lot of echo over there. I don't know if that's coming in off of Tony, but
Tony, how are you monitoring this in your pods?
No,
it's you then, John. Get your head. First rule of podcasting.
Not me.
No, I was meaning John. We figured it out. We knew you knew it. You heard it. Oh, yeah. What is this guy doing?
I mean, for someone who wants to be a podcaster, you sure are running amateur hour over here.
Oh, this is going to be amateur hour. If we're 10 years into this, it's going to be amateur hour. That's not going to change. I can assure you of that.
I mean, if we hit episode 10, I'll be amazed.
If we get to episode 1, I don't have any right now currently available. No.
Where's your pods?
I thought I had them in my pocket, but they are not in my pocket, so I don't know what I've done with them.
There's not a set of headphones in that studio? What kind
of they're in the house. They're in the house.
Like 3 sets of headphones, and they're all in the house?
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
It's terrible because we can hear ourselves back every time we talk.
Well, I'm going to mute myself for a minute, and I'm going to go get headphones, and y'all continue on without me.
John's going to tell me what he bought this week for his radio setup. I know you got something, so what is it?
I did, actually. I've been building, and when I say building, I just mean assembling things, spending money on parts for a All-Star node.
Okay.
So I got a Raspberry Pi 5, and then I got a Sherry Pie hat. And getting ready to put that stuff together. The last couple pieces came this afternoon. So actually, I'm off on vacation this week.
All week?
All week, yeah. My wife and I took some time off together, which isn't normal. Normally, we don't take vacations together for some reason. I think it's because she doesn't like me, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh,
But anyways, so we're taking some time off. We're going to do some things around the house. I've got a radio project I'm going to work on in addition to the All-Star Node build. And so that'll be fun. I'll get to work on that.
cool.
And Huntsville. We went to Huntsville a couple weeks ago. It was a
And
good
I
time.
didn't buy nothing.
Oh, man. I did.
And you bought a big something.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't anticipating spending the money that I spent. I kind of decided that next year I would buy my my amplifier for my HF setup, and I could not pass up the deal that I found. And I don't know how it got. I don't know how someone else didn't snatch it up sooner, but I picked up a Yaesu Quadra VL1000, which is basically it's supposed to be like 1200 watts HF amplifier. It comes with a power supply and a built-in tuner. So excited about getting that set up. I've got the 220 electrical outlet installed, the wire pulled. I just have to run it from the crawl space up into the wall, into the panel, and hook up the breaker. So
Wow.
going to do that on Wednesday. I got a buddy coming over Wednesday, and we're going to do that last little bit and get it connected and hopefully fire it up and get it working. So
That is awesome. That'll be great. And I hope that buddy's not Tony, right?
no.
Okay, thank God. Because, I mean, I don't want to. I could probably see a house fire from where I'm at. I don't want to see that. Not at your place.
Well, it's funny, though, because he told me the two of you wired his studio.
We did. But the key is the two of me.
I mean, I don't see any smoke or any flames coming off of his shirt.
Not yet. We did. We were very careful and meticulous. But it did so far so good. Don't jinx it. Knock on wood. For sure.
And since we're talking about the studio, and obviously Tony is still trying to get his earphones to work. Kent, why don't you tell us about his studio? What exactly? We're talking about studio, and people on here don't know what we're talking about. What is this studio we speak of that he has over there?
So, people who know Tony may not know that his first passion is music, and me and him used to have a house that we rented. He paid the bills. I just provided the engineering. But when COVID hit, we got rid of all that. So Tony bought a 12 by 24. Nod if I'm right.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, 12 by 24.
I couldn't hear you till just now.
12 by 24.
12 by 28.
12 by 28 shed. Me and Tony spent the summer building it out to become a studio / ham shack. It was quite an undertaking. We did a good job, I must say. It's a pretty impressive space. We did Rockwool insulation, sound and safe and sound on everything. 2 full layers of 5/8 drywall, everything sealed. Built a subfloor in the bottom to run all cables and cabling, and then on top of that, did a bunch of sound panels, sound deadening panels that are movable. Did nice railing down the side where we could move panels around. Air conditioned, the whole deal. I mean, we're all out, and
it was a long process, but it was very, very much worth it in the end, for sure.
Yeah, it turned out to be very, very nice, and I can contest. I mean, once we got done, I played just about any instrument, but we set up a drum set, and I mean, we could go full to the floor, and you would not bother anybody. So when Tony's in there hamming it up, he's in full. Now I must say, it has become more of a ham shack than it is a music studio at the moment.
It's 50-50.
If Tony's, I've got a feeling if Tony didn't have the green screen on or the blurring background, we would all be a little concerned. But
as you should be.
It was great. It was a really fun project. So Tony's got the hub, man. He's coming. He's broadcasting out of the $1 Million Shack for sure.
It was.
Tony,
it was
sounds
a late,
better. Thank you. By the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry, I had to work today. As everybody knows, I work way too much, and did not get home in time to get everything set up. Just made the decision earlier this morning to go with StreamYard. Never used it before. Kind of did a little dry run earlier today, me and Kent with, but I was just using the phone. So got home, got it on the computer, and it'll be it's a work in progress for sure. Every week I think it'll be a little bit better. We'll upgrade some stuff. I mean, I literally was downloading our intro music 30 seconds before we went live. So yeah, we'll work on it. It'll get better. It's it's the first time. So like John said, if we make it to episode 10, it'll be a miracle.
Well, Tony, you're last. What did you add to the collection this week, if anything?
To the collection this week, I didn't do anything this week, but the last week I did get my All-Star node set up. So I purchased a Raspberry Pi and a Sherry Pie hat, and got that all set up. And so now with this, just with this 1 watt bow thing, I can. Well, there's John's right there. He just got his parts in yesterday, so he'll be getting his set up this week. And with that 1 watt bow thing, I can talk worldwide. Now it is using, the internet as the backbone, but it's pretty cool. Like I've got the All-Star Link keyed nodes set up right up on my screen right now. It's anywhere from Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, North Carolina, Texas, Illinois, Tucson. It's everywhere, and depending on the time of day, it's worldwide. I love getting up in the morning around 5 when I get the kids up, and I come out here, and there's usually a bunch of stations from England over there and a lot of Australian stations, and I'm having a great time talking with those guys on All-Star. So it's pretty cool. Loving it.
Let me ask you guys, can you do that? It's internet backbone. Is it you can do it from a hotspot? So like your phone hotspot?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, as long as you had the internet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you see, I didn't have a much. I'm a type of person that's like, I have to have a real good reason or use case to want to do something. And Tony will do anything just because it's there. It's like it's an opportunity to spend money. He's like, oh, I can spend $300 on this. I'll get into electric underwater basket weaving, right?
Yeah,
and
that's next week.
Yeah. And I have to have like a really good use case. And it's like, I have one HF rig. I've got one UHF, one VHF at the house, one in the car. It's like, I don't have multiple radio. I got a couple HTs, but I'm just very, I'll say minimalistic when it comes to that stuff. So I have to have like a good reason to get into that stuff. And I didn't really understand the advantage of it until our friend Brian, he's from New York, and he's got a lot of friends back in New York, and he has his set up where it automatically connects to the nodes from back home, and he can participate in all the nets from his hometown and where he used to live. And I started kind of thinking about it. I'm like, that'd be a lot of fun. I'm not originally from the Nashville area, so all my family, or some of my family's back in the Tampa Bay area, and I was never a ham there, but I wouldn't mind connecting in and participating in some of those nets that they have in that area. And I thought, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe I'll try that. And worst case, scenario, I spent some money and learned how to do something I wouldn't normally do, and it kind of pulled me out of my comfort zone, which I think is important. I'm
really good at pulling him out of his comfort zone.
All the time.
Well, I like his explanation. That makes total sense. That's
One of the
that's a good
cool
way to
things.
do it.
One of the cool things about the All Star, not only do you, like, I have a node myself, so someone could connect directly to my node. But for instance, one of our local repeater systems, the Sumner County Amateur Radio Association, their repeater system, one of the repeaters in there has an All Star node. So I can connect to that repeater. Anybody around the world could connect to that repeater and talk in on it. And there are tons of repeaters around the world. A lot of these times when I'm talking to these guys over in England or over in Australia, I'm not talking directly to them on a node of their own. Most of the time, I'm just hitting a repeater. So those guys are sitting there on 2 meters or 70 centimeters, hitting a repeater from 3 to 10 miles away, and I'm hitting their repeater from 5,000 miles away, just using the internet as the backbone. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, this is literally like a $12 Baofeng. I'm running on low power, 1 watt, and I can connect to the world with it.
I think you mispronounced that. I think it's pronounced Boofwang.
Yeah, tomato.
So being an IT nerd, what is the size of the packets that are being sent? Like, let's say you're using your hotspot. What kind of usage, what kind of packet size is that data?
Yeah, Tony, what kind of packet size is that data?
Are you acting like the baud rate or something? Like how far it's going out at 9600 baud rate, but I have no idea.
So I'm saying, like, obviously everybody's got a data package. Like I was saying, if you're on your hotspot, you have a data package that. So I just was curious what the average talk. Let's say a net for an hour. I'm just curious if you were conversating in a net, what size data that would be using. How much
data would you use? Yeah,
I have absolutely no idea.
I mean, we call these, the node itself, we call these hotspots. So it's not, when we say hotspot, we don't necessarily mean like a Wi-Fi hotspot or a cellular hotspot. This kind of does the same thing, but from an RF standpoint. So this particular device here, obviously it's a Pi, and it has as you can see, it has a Cat5 data connection, and that's where that network connection happens. It goes into the device, and the RFs go into the antenna, and then it goes out through the data into the internet. So like I'll put mine in my data closet over here, and it'll just sit there on the shelf and get power and data and all that fun stuff. And then what's great about it is, again, Tony was talking about his Boofwang. You'll be able to use a low watt, put your HT on a low power setting, and just all you have to do is make your antenna locally, and you're connected to any repeater that's on All-Star in the world.
Gotcha. And the audio on All-Star is phenomenal. So I've recently, in the last month or so, also got into DMR a little bit. It's another digital form, but with the DMR, you have to have a specific radio that does the translation, I guess, of the digital. Whereas with All-Star, that node, that hat that's on top of that Pi does the translation for you. And the audio in All-Star is phenomenal, especially compared to like DMR. DMR can sound very robotic, very digital, very terrible. And I have not experienced that with All-Star yet. And like I said, you don't have to have a specific radio. It's literally any 2 meter, 70 centimeter radio that you have will work. You don't have to have
the magic happens in the hat, in the
Sherry
Pie hat, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like a separate repeater for you. It's just kind of a local repeater that connects you to those internet-based repeater systems.
I feel like the guy that works at Raspberry Pi is the same guy that names medical cannabis. They all got the weirdest name. It's Raspberry Pi, Blueberry this, and Blackberry that. And
No, but he's probably smoking some medical cannabis.
Yeah, definitely.
So you were talking about what I purchased recently. So I didn't purchase anything recently, but I did last week go down to Brownsville, Tennessee, to a drone meetup, and had a really good time down there. Unfortunately, Kent wasn't able to go. We both went last year and had a great time, and unfortunately, his stepdad passed away and was not able to attend this year. But I was able to go down there and had a great time again. I did crash the drone this year. I trying to be stupid, trying to give a high five to a piece of metal 65 feet in the air, and it high fived me all right. And it took a 65-foot plummet to the ground, but I changed out the prop, dusted it off, and it's back in the air.
To be clear, I think you did crash the drone last year too, didn't you? In a pipe.
It landed in a pipe that was 50 so feet in the air, but I was able to do turtle mode and get out of that situation.
Kent, you notice how he's like, oh, I managed to crash it this year.
Yeah, no, he crashed it last year.
I try not to crash. I've crashed a few times. I crashed at Kent's house one time and completely destroyed the frame of that was 37 miles an hour into a piece of steel that did not budge. Yeah. And the very first time when I got my first drone, my Mavic 3 Pro, I was doing great, flying in normal mode. And then I was like, hey, I'm a superstar. I've done this for 5 minutes. I put it in sport mode, and 37 seconds later, I was in a tree and snapped the gimbal in half. So, yeah, it happens.
So in the chat, Brian says an all-star link packet size is approximately 65 to, I think it says 87 kbps.
I gotcha.
Appreciate that,
but
Brian.
Very nominal. So I mean, you could talk for days and days and days. And gotcha.
And speaking of drones, we have a good friend of ours. Last week, he's new to the drone community, and he was flying his drone at his house and decided to look up and say bye to a friend as he was leaving. And the next thing he knew, it was in a tree. And so me and Brian went over one day at the end of last week, either Thursday or Friday, and spent an hour or so over there. And I've never seen a tree so dense in my entire life. We were not able to even spot this thing. We climbed up in the tree, Brian more so than us, and was shaking the tree to death, and then beating the tree to death with his what was it, the 33-foot carbon fiber mast. And we could not get it out. So yesterday, after breakfast, we gathered up a crew of people, me, John, Brian, and Mikey. And we all went back over to Kevin's house. And Mikey pretty much climbed the tree and shook it until it come flying out. And thankfully, it was no visible damage. Had possibly some sensor damages. We don't know. He wasn't able to fly it with the sensors on, but he was able to flip it over to sport mode, which turns off all the sensors, and was able to fly it just fine. So hopefully he will be able to get that back up and running again. But it was a good end to a story that was not looking very promising at first.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys got it out. I was going to ask if you got it out. So.
We did. It was very quick. Mikey saved the day yesterday. He was the hero. What in the world is on your screen?
What is happening there?
This I'm making my second. This is my ham clock.
What your ham clock. Well, it's only partially in and out. You got part of the whiskey kilo in there, and it's all in black and white. And...
it's because of the green screen thingy, Bobby. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things we wanted to talk about, John and I came up with this idea of a ham co-op. The first time I thought about it was John does a net on Sunday nights, and John is the president of the Sumner Amateur Radio Club. And he was doing a net one Sunday night, and I am the president of the Nashville Amateur Radio Club. And I had an event that was coming up, and I was curious to whether I could
announce over his net, over their network, over their repeater system, about our event that was coming up. So he and I had a conversation about that and some other things, just wanting to getting to know a lot of people and get a lot of other people involved. He and I came up with this ham co-op format. John, you want to give us a little background on the co-op?
Yeah, I think the other thing that really kind of started it was you and I were talking about you were going to run for the president of Nashville, and I was running for Sumner County, and we started talking about our programs, that we were going to put on for our clubs. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we could share speakers and ideas and topics, and we started kind of thinking about that, going, well, what if there was a group of clubs where we could do that? We could utilize each other's information and material. And I said, well, let's take it a step further. And we were talking about it, and I said, well, let's see if we can start sharing members. I mean, there's no reason why someone from the Nashville club couldn't come out to Sumner County, or Sumner County club couldn't go out to Nashville and participate in their club meetings and their events. So, all of our clubs in the area are very welcoming. So that really helps kind of enable us to share content and share members and share events. And we started talking about, sharing those things from a club management standpoint first to make it easier for us. We were being lazy, right? We were trying to make it as easy on us as possible, so that way our members could benefit the most. So we developed this idea of the co-op where, everyone kind of participates. We advertise events. We help find volunteers for each other's events when we can. We formed a support system for the club management to help each other.
And it's been very, very helpful to this point. It's very new. This only started a few months ago.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah. And then, it even took a little while to get it completely hammered out. And so we started out with 3 groups: the Nashville Amateur Radio Club, the Sumner Amateur Radio Club, and the Robertson County Amateur Radio Club. Those were the 3 initial clubs that were part of the co-op. And John and I went to all these clubs and sold the idea to the members, and everybody that we've tried to sell it to has been just overwhelmed and loving it. So we started out with the three groups. John came up with a great calendar system. So basically, on that calendar system, you can pull up and see any event, any net, any meeting, anything, and get all the information for it. Whether if it's a net, you can get the frequency that it's on, the offset, the PL tone. If it's a meeting, the location, the time. If it's an event, information about the event, the location and the time. And it's a great asset. And now, if anyone around here, you don't even have to be a member of our clubs to benefit from it. All you have to do is to go to either any of the websites, and they all have the calendar on there. You click on the calendar, and boom, you're able to see if you got some free time one day and you wanted to do something ham radio related. You click on that calendar and okay, this is going on today. I can get involved with this. And it's been a super. I think it's just going to grow and become even better over time. Since then, in the last couple of months, John and I have traveled a little bit farther out of the circle, and we have went over to Wilson County, and we've got those guys signed up. So we're in the process of getting them integrated into the co-op. And then this last group that we went up to Rutherford County to the Stones River Amateur Radio Club, and we got those guys involved. So we're now up to 5 groups. Like I said, we're integrating those last 2. It'll take us a little while. We're kind of a slow process. Unfortunately, we're not full-time YouTubers or anything like that. We all have full-time day jobs, and John's is somewhat full-time. We'll give it that. But,
hey.
Hey, you want to share that calendar? I've got it pulled up. I'm trying to share the screen, but I don't think it's active.
I shared it in the chat.
Okay. Well, I just figured we'd give everyone a look at the
There you go.
calendar itself.
It's up there now.
Oh, that's not the. I was looking at the one on your Nashville amateur radio.
Yeah, so this is the calendar it comes from. This is the source calendar. But
okay.
just as an example, I can try to zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. But Tony was mentioning. Let's hear. Here's today's calendar, or today's event. This was the net that I did today, the weekend wind down. Tony's favorite net, and
It is definitely.
So what's great about it is all of the clubs that we have in the co-op have a communications liaison that basically is responsible for adding their events to the calendar and putting all the information in here. So if you're in the Nashville area and you want to know what's going on tomorrow night, you can go to the calendar and go, oh, okay, looks like 6 a.m. tomorrow I can do the Bible net. Or 7 p.m., I've got the roundtable net, or, oh, there's a bunch more events. Let me click on this, and you can see all the local events that happen and get all of the information for those events just by clicking on it. So that's all available in most of the club web pages, and ours eventually, I think most of the clubs will eventually have that available for everyone to participate and see the information on. So that'll come, I think. Every club that's a part of the co-op, that's kind of one of the things that we encourage them to do is have the calendar available for anybody and everybody that has access to their club website.
The calendar looks great. I'm looking at it here on the Nashville site. That's great. You just hover over it and it gives you all the info. That's cool.
Yeah,
John, you did that, right? John did all that?
Yeah, I set up the calendar, and then we had a meeting with all the communications coordinators. Basically, we had a meeting with the club presidents and the communication coordinator and said, hey, this is the idea. We're all going to share this calendar. We're going to put it on our websites. Everyone, all of our members can access any event or anything that's happening. If we have an event that we need to do, like we've got an event coming up called the Jack and Back, that Tony's club is really kind of taking the horns on. It's on there. Our members can see that event and go, hey, I want to do some radio stuff this weekend. And they can reach out to the person who's running that event or Tony and get involved with that event. So it's just a nice local network of clubs that basically share events, ideas, and people.
Yeah,
because one of the big things is, if you are, let's say, in the Robertson County Club, which is a smaller club, you may not associate with a lot of people outside of that club. You may not associate with people in the Sumner County Club or the people in the Nashville Club. So John may have a really good presentation coming up at a meeting, and if it wasn't on that calendar, they may never know about it, but they may see something on there and be like, oh man, I'm really interested in that. And then they can get all the information and they can come to that meeting and see that presentation, or vice versa. Or if there's an event. Speaking of events, coming up in October the 11th, we have the co-op is going to do a picnic. John, if you want to pull that up on your computer, I'll put it out there for us. But so October the 11th in Greenbrier, Tennessee, and I do not know the name of the park, but John will know it here in 1 second.
It's Louise Martin Park Ball Fields in Greenbrier, Tennessee. It's where the city has their city ballpark, basically. Getting the flyer, so just give me 1 second. So go ahead, Tony. No
problem. So we're going to, it's basically going to be something that we're going to try to grow over time. Each year we're going to try to do it at least once a year, and we'll move it from place to place. So like this year it's in Robertson County. Next year we may do it somewhere up in Sumner County, and then, or maybe somewhere in Nashville for Davidson County. But it's just a way to get more people together, get people involved. We're going to have a swap meet. It's free to come and set up on your trunk there and do a little swap meet out of your trunk. We're going to have classes. We're going to have presentations. We're going to have I'm going to have my satellite station out. Hopefully, going to make a satellite contact that day. We've got a Ask the Elmers tent, so we're going to have some Elmers in there. If anybody has any questions for the Elmers, they'll be able to ask them any questions. And do you have it up there, sir? There we go. Let's pull that up here. You bigging that just a little bit for us?
Big in that.
Bigging that. So we're going to have a transmitter hunt. The Sumner County is going to be bringing their mobile trailer, their command center trailer. We're going to have the Ask the Elmers tent. We're going to have a satellite ops demo. We're going to have classes. Is it Riley that's coming from the Tennessee Amateur Radio Association?
Yep, that's right. Riley and his group they're going to come, and they do events like kind of a tour in all of their districts. I think they have 4 or 5 districts across the state of Tennessee, and our event is going to be their tour stop for our district, which I think is District 3, maybe. And they'll be here to present and talk about what the Tennessee Amateur Radio Association is doing for ham radio and ham radio clubs.
So I think it's going to be a great event. It's like I said, it's free to attend. We encourage everybody to come out, and you don't have to stay all day. It's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you could come out and just hang out for a little bit, come join us. We're going to have a really good time. We're going to have a food truck. Is that correct, John?
Yeah, I believe it's they have a catering trailer, and it's not necessarily a food truck, but we'll have food provided at a very reasonable ham-friendly fee.
Ham-friendly means cheap, because we're all too cheap to pay for anything other than ham radio equipment.
No. You're all broke because you buy ham radio equipment. None of you are cheap.
Tomato.
Nothing cheap in ham radio.
Yeah, it's one of my it's one of my many cheap hobbies that I have. I'm still looking for a cheap hobby. If anybody knows of any cheap hobbies, if you could post that in the comments, I would really appreciate it, because I have yet to find one.
Sleep.
So I noticed you said this is, just to clarify, it's from 9 to 4.
9 to 4, and we're actually going to do testing. We're going to do amateur radio license testing at 8 a.m.
I know somebody that needs to upgrade.
Yeah, I know. I think Ben is looking to get his upgrade, and there's somebody else there.
I think that's that Kilo guy in the middle.
Kilo guy, yeah. 2 extras and a tech.
We need to work on that tech part.
Yeah,
I would mess up the whole vibe.
No.
Yeah,
nah.
Three extras on here talking about stuff that's not interesting.
I don't know.
There's got to be other tech. This is something we'll get into in the next episode of this podcast, is this pressure that these technicians feel to be extras.
You put it on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no need to be an extra. We just want you to get your general. You get your general, we'll leave you alone.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for a week or 2, and then we'll start bugging you to get your extra.
I'm just going to get me a sherry pie and talk around the world. What are you talking about?
Do that. You can absolutely do that as a tech. There's a lot of things.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things you can do as a tech. I mean, I was a tech for about 3 years before I got my general and then extra. But and I found plenty of things to do. That's how I got into doing the satellite stuff. It was just an aspect of ham radio that technicians can get involved with. You do have a little bit of HF privileges on the 10-meter band from 28.300 to 28.500, and I lived in that area while I was a tech. Got into doing FT8 on 10 meters, and man, just loved that to death. Finally getting John into FT8 here. It's been like pulling teeth, but I think we've got him into the 21st century finally.
Well, I told you. I said I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it after I got all 50 states voice, which you have yet to complete.
Yeah,
I have
John's
all
got you
50
there.
states. I have all 50 states.
You do not have all 50 states voice.
I've worked all 50 states.
I worked all 50 states voice before you did. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. My certificate says the same as yours. Worked all 50 states.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, Whisper worked it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a few digital.
A robot.
I got a few voice.
Robot worked it.
A few. All right. Well, we'll have to check the receipts.
Put a pin in that. Yeah, we'll have
Come back to that. That's
show
another
and tell
whole nother
next
episode.
time. Yeah, show and
Speaking
tell
of, what's the name of this episode? Did you pick a name, Tony, for this one?
Episode 1 or episode 0?
Oh, man.
We'll go episode 0. Actually, I need that list.
Yeah, he had a list, Kent. I don't know if he told you about it.
No, he didn't tell me
all
about
these
the list.
names for the episodes, and he was going to name them accordingly. And I was wondering which name he picked for this episode.
Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a second. I will find that list and I will give you the name for this episode.
Kent, let's go back to Huntsville for a minute. I really wanted to kind of talk about that because I think that was a good event. What did you think of Huntsville?
I love going down. In the last 2 years, so
did you like the lobby and the bench?
Well, I did, man. It got a little bit. Sometimes there's great stuff there that I want, and but sometimes I have restraint, and the only way to do that is to walk away. Sometimes
it gets overwhelming.
Well, but let me tell you, the main reason that the lobby was so cool was the daggum Patel wedding that was happening there. That was a mind-blowing event. I can't believe both of those things were happening simultaneously. And you know, I've since then done some research. I did not realize the Patels own 80% of the motels in the United States. That was that family.
So here you have to understand something. Well, a lot of times when Asian Indians come over to the United States, they'll change their name, and they change it to it. They kind of Americanize it. And this is from what I understand, and I know this from I used to work for an architectural firm that did a lot of hotels. And a lot of times they'll come over to the States and they'll pick an American name, and they pick Patel, and evidently Patel means innkeeper. So that's why a lot of them will be Patels. There is also a lot of Shaws in the hotel industry as well, but there's a lot of Patels.
Well, that was
I got the
event.
name when you're ready.
Go for it.
Let's see. I got a drum roll right here.
I was going to say, do you have a drum roll?
There we go.
I do have a drum roll. Here we go.
It's more of a bongo roll, but
it says drum roll with bongos. But anyway, so I think this is very, very appropriate for this episode. Discombobulated.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, that works for me.
I think that works.
So, the thing I was going to say about Huntsville, this is the second year we've gone up to the park. I enjoy it, even though I'm just people watching, not really participating in anything per se. I do enjoy that. I like sitting there. I like hanging out with my buddies, you guys, but I'm always kind of watching and hearing, what people are doing and using, and you guys start talking to people and asking questions, and I learn a lot. Sit and do that.
Let's rewind that for a minute. We talked about the park. You mentioned it. I don't think people understand what that is. The day before Huntsville, all of the YouTubers and POTA people go up to Mount DeSanto State Park, right there in Huntsville, and they camp and they rent the cabins, cottages, whatever you call it. But they have a big pavilion that they rent, and they do a big cookout, and all the YouTubers show up, and everyone's invited. Anyone can go up there. You just go to the guard shack there at the entrance and say you're here for the ham radio event, and they let you in for free. Park wherever you can, bring some food, and everyone hangs out and they POTA and they do stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's very
It's a
interesting.
good time.
So that's
nowhere else can you see somebody make contact with somebody falling out of an airplane. I mean, where else does that happen?
Well, Carlos does that every ham event he goes to. All the big ones he goes to, he does that. Yeah, he does it everywhere. He doesn't just do it in Huntsville. He does it at all.
That's funny.
All the big.
What kind of niche is that? You know, it's like,
yeah.
What is that? If it's POTA, what is that?
I'm not interested.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's even not peaks on the air or
no. It's like it's not considered aeronautical mobile. It's parachute mobile, right? Isn't that what
parachute mobile? That's what he calls it. Yeah,
parachute mobile.
That is really neat.
No thanks.
It's neat to see the people clamor to make contact with him. You know, while the guy holds the Yagi.
It was like a Congo line. They were all lined up. It was. Like they actually called it the Congo line.
Yeah. No, that was really fun. But and I mean, Huntsville every year is awesome. I mean, if you want anything you ever want, you can get there.
Oh, absolutely.
I did not walk away with a mystery box this year, though. I usually buy.
I was disappointed in that. I was very disappointed in that.
You know what, man? I think Gigapart. I'm beginning to think Gigaparts is kind of the 800-pound gorilla. I don't know if they've kind of lost their luster. You know me, I'm a huge 3D printing guy, and when I walked in that booth and saw no 3D printing stuff, I was totally upset.
I gotta say this. I was not impressed with their display this year.
Yeah, it was a little off. It was not right.
Even for radio stuff, there wasn't a lot. Now, I understand that you can go there and they have a whole web thing where you can go there and pick something out, like surf the website and buy it, and they'll bring it to you.
So they run couriers like every hour back and forth from the store.
I get that, but you know what? I'm at a show like that. I want to see merchandise.
Yeah, me too.
I want to be able to go into the booth and look at that stuff. They had some stuff, but it just wasn't as. It was underwhelming. Let me just say that. Yeah. Everything else was very overwhelming. There was just so much stuff to look at, and then we go into Gigaparts, and it was just like, it just wasn't as much stuff as I thought there would be. And
no, I agree. It was definitely something. I don't know. It was a different vibe going in there. It just wasn't what it normally. Like I said, I'd rather go to Gigaparts itself down the street.
And did you guys see DX Engineering? They weren't there this year, were they?
Yeah. I thought I saw
HRO was there.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing them there, but
I didn't see.
I spent most of my time sitting at the table because I was trying to
hog in the seats. You would
I was trying to help out a Silent Keys wife and get rid of some stuff for her, which I was absolutely able to do. So I'm happy with that. But I did spend a lot of time sitting at the table trying to sell that stuff off for her. So I was very happy that I was able to get rid of all of it.
It was nice of you to help. What was it, Miss Judy? Was that her name?
Miss Judy. Yeah. Yep, Miss Judy was.
She gave him a tip. He was in the house a little long when we were headed back. I think she might have given him a good tip.
Yeah, the tip was 5 more boxes of stuff to bring home, which I got rid of all that stuff this weekend. So. So I'm actually going to be sending Miss Judy some more money. So she's going to be super happy when she gets that check in the mail. Check's in the mail.
Yeah. I was disappointed I didn't win anything in the barrel. Usually I had my fingers crossed, but
I never win.
I'm pretty lucky that way.
It's not one of the luckiest people that I know, actually. I don't know.
I only buy one. My luck counts. If you won. Well, there's only 3 people listening. I don't think any of them won. But if one of the people that sits there and stamps 1,000 tickets for 2 hours, if they win that to me, that should not be allowed. I don't care what you say. That should not be allowed. I understand it makes money for the establishment and for that entity, but that if I win with one ticket, that's a real win. That's a real win.
I agree, because I mean we were standing there waiting to go in, and there were two people just 5 feet away from us who had stacks and stacks of cards, and they're just sitting there stamp.
Yeah, with their stamp. If you bring a stamp to enter a raffle, that's I don't get that at all. I don't get that at all. That's no fun. That takes the fun out of it. But yeah, it was a great event as always. Always will go back. Accommodations were great. I enjoyed our hotel. I enjoyed, dinner was good. It was a little iffy at first.
Oh my God, that's the story. Oh, we don't have enough time either. Oh man,
it was a little iffy to begin with, but we know now that Tony doesn't pick the spots anymore. Me and John.
I've lost that privilege.
You can't pick hotels,
That's
and you
twice
can't
now.
pick. Yeah, no hotels, no food places. I think you're doing it on purpose, actually, to just get out of the responsibility.
Never ask a commercial truck driver where you should eat.
Yeah, this is true. One that doesn't eat but once a day, too.
Yeah,
don't ever ask that, dude.
That's a whole nother thing, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't like cheese.
Yeah.
But I love pizza.
But loves pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got my pizza that day, dadgummit. It was late. I had to walk over and get it myself, but I got pizza that night.
Oh, that's right. You did do that. I was going to say John made you a little pizza.
I made you pizza. Yeah, I made you French
John
bread
made you a
pizza
little
right
pizza.
there at the table.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
He made it with love. It was
That's
better.
right.
He made it with love.
It wasn't the same. It was made with love.
I was mad at myself because I was the one that picked that and didn't get somewhere. I literally I did everything I could to get my way of going to eat pizza, and I got my way, and I picked somewhere that didn't have pizza. It's like,
all right, we got to explain this. We got to explain this to everybody, because now we've already explained too much about what it is, and now we got to give them the whole story. So I'll summarize it and make it really quick. Okay, so Tony's on this fasting diet plan, and I've done it before, and I applaud Tony for doing it. But anyways, so we're all hanging out, and all of a sudden, all of us were on Tony's fasting diet plan because we couldn't eat. We couldn't eat when it was time to eat, because Tony still had like 4 hours before he could eat. So now we were all suffering.
Yeah.
Okay. We were all on Tony's fasting. So I was bitching to Tony about, all right, I wanted to eat and I'm not fasting, and I was just kind of being a pain.
As usual.
That's right. And I said, let's go eat. I want to eat, yada, yada, yada. And Tony was like, the day before we had pizza. And I told Tony, I said, we're not going to have pizza when we're in Huntsville because we had pizza Thursday. So we're not having pizza again. And I know Tony's favorite thing is pizza, the guy who doesn't like cheese. So we were arguing about eating, and Tony didn't want to eat. And I convinced him to eat, but he goes, we could eat as long as we can go to a pizza place, a place that I choose. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll order something else. I'm not going to eat pizza. I'll eat something Italian. So Tony finds this place, which, first of all, is like 40 minutes outside of...
It's only like 3 miles, though. It's literally 3 miles.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in Huntsville.
Well, in traffic, it was not 3 miles. It seemed like 40 minutes outside of where we were going, in the direct opposite direction of the hotel.
Yes.
So we get to this place, and Tony's like, talking to me on the radio. He's like, "Oh God, you're going to hate this place," because it did not look very nice from the outside. It didn't look horrible.
The first thing that threw me off was this, for their letters on the door for the name of the establishment and the times of business were with mailbox letters.
Yeah, from Home Depot.
That were from Home Depot. Letters. And I was like, oh my God, John is going to lose his mind when he sees this. But he didn't.
It didn't.
I will say I will say this: he did not lose his mind. He kept his cool, and then we went inside, and it did turn out to be a
Because we
very
were
good
starving, Tony. We just were starving.
Yeah.
We had to.
But it turned out to be a great place, other than I didn't get to eat pizza.
They didn't have pizza. All of this, Tony gets to make the pick, and he goes there. He picks a restaurant that doesn't have pizza.
Well, in my defense, I pulled up the Googles. I did a search. Italian restaurant near me that serves pizza. And that was the first thing that popped up. And I didn't look at the menu. That's on me until we got there. And lo and behold, no pizza. So I got spaghetti, my second favorite food. And then later that night, after hanging out with everybody, I had to halfway walk Tom back to his hotel room, make sure he got back in one piece. And I stopped and got me a pizza on the way back. So it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Listen,
it was good.
Just because that place didn't have pizza and Tony picked it, it could have been the worst Italian food ever, and I would have said it was the best.
Yeah.
But the waiter just about got John for his shenanigans.
Yeah, there was a pizza joint on the corner of the strip mall.
Yeah, I don't count that.
Wasn't it a Marco's? Marco's
Yes.
Pizza
Yep,
or
Marco's
CC's or something?
It was Marco's.
It might as well have been a Chuck E. Cheese for all that matters.
Yeah, no thanks. I saved it till the little place there that we'd eaten at last year, which was fantastic, and it was fantastic again this year. You guys missed out on that, so maybe next year you'll get to eat pizza there again.
It was okay.
If you're lucky.
The whole food thing, and then we got barbecue on the way out. Brian, all of us, that was great. That was absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
the food was. I mean, the food experiences were great.
It usually is. I mean, we're most of us have not missed too many meals, so we're pretty good about picking food places.
Yeah, I didn't get my felt swimmer's body from not knowing a good food joint.
Phelps. Yeah,
I really enjoyed the barbecue place when I was younger. I got on a kick for a while where I ate just about nothing but bread and barbecue sauce, and we go into this place and they're serving bread and barbecue sauce. Like that's my kind of people right there.
Tony thought he was home.
I really did. I mean, it got so bad for a couple of years. My aunt would give me barbecue sauce for Christmas. I'd get a gallon of barbecue sauce for Christmas. So yeah, there's that.
Yes, I've known Tony most of my life, and yes, he's been a weirdo the whole time. 100%.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm from Nashville. I'm not bashful.
Yeah, I've only known Tony for a couple years, and it's a couple years too many.
Yeah.
I am a lot to handle. I'm a lot to take in, for sure.
Oh, you would have loved him in high school.
Hmm.
He was
same me with a little bit more of an attitude, if that's possible.
A little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. And
well, guys, I want to thank you very much for joining me, and everybody that's participated in the chat and everybody that's watched. We really do appreciate it, and hopefully you'll come back. Hopefully we didn't run you off. I think we're going to start this off to begin with, just doing it on the last Sunday of the month. That hopefully, and maybe it'll grow from there. We have millions and millions of followers. Maybe we'll be doing this, 7 nights a week. But hey, you never. One can hope.
No.
One can hope.
What could we look forward to next? Well, first of all, you're going to bring your receipts to show that you actually contacted 50 states.
Absolutely, I will have my worked off 50 states certificate.
Okay, I don't know if that counts. John, does that count?
No,
that doesn't
because
count.
he's not going to check the box that says filtered by mode.
Yeah, exactly. John did it. He made here's the thing. He made a mission out of it and he accomplished it.
Well, that was my goal.
Try to shortcut it.
Yeah, that was my personal goal, was to do it all voice, and I didn't want to get into digital until
I think that's great. I think that's authentic. That's a great start. Then you can do the rest of them. You can do digital and everything, but the voice is the toughest.
Well,
all right. Well, I believe we have reached the end, so we're gonna get. This is gonna be us.
Oh, we can't hear you. You went gone. We can't hear you.
Thank goodness.
All right. I love you guys. We'll see you.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
You are listening to the Whiskey Kilo Podcast Live.